The Word of God says that knowledge puffs up. Knowledge can puff up a person. Like the body that is bloated as a symptom that something's wrong. Likewise, only knowledge without practice, without being applied, it bloats the person. The body? No. The mind. The person becomes proud. Usually, they become proud, vain, filled with thoughts that tell them because they have education, that means that is a good status, a good reputation. But only knowledge causes in the head the same that when a person is bloated in the body. It's just volume. It's something to deceive the person. When someone sees the person who is bloated, they say they're strong or they're chubby. But being bloated is the opposite of being healthy. It is a sign that something's wrong in their body. An inflammation, maybe something that happened, or a medication. They must be treated immediately. Why is this important to know, to receive this advice from the Word of God that you can find at Paul saying that in 1 Corinthians 8:1, the knowledge puffs up. He was talking to the Corinthians because he knew that the audience that was listening to him, they had knowledge. For example, in the context of this word, he was dealing with things sacrificed to idols, which means a topic that to those who call themselves Christians should have known in the beginning. Am I right? Isn't that what we learn about idols, idolatry, getting involved with idols? When you become a true Christian and start to read the Bible, you cannot go deeper in the Bible without first understanding that idols and idolatry is abominable to God. Not only the practice of idolatry, but also you to have an idol. It doesn't matter if they change its name. No, I don't have idolatry. I revere. Listen, the Bible tells us to have no consideration whatsoever towards idols. In the Ten Commandments, he says, you shall not make for yourself a carved image. You won't bow to them. You won't make them, and you won't have them. So the word is quite clear in this regard, that idolatry is abominable, because idolatry to God is like betrayal. Just for you to understand it better, it's the same as you being married, but you keep pictures of an ex. Then your husband asks you, listen, what is this picture of your ex in your purse? Then you tell him, no, I have nothing to do with him, I don't talk to him, have no contact with him, it's just for me to remember him. It's just to remember him. Those moments we had together, because it was a beautiful relationship and I want to keep the good memories. Would your husband accept that? Okay, the opposite. Would you accept your husband to have pictures of his ex in his wallet? Just to remember, so he does not forget the good moments. Because they had something good between them both, you wouldn't accept that. Likewise, God sees idolatry as betrayal. It is a spiritual betrayal. So much so that idolatry is called in the Bible spiritual prostitution. It's a kind of adultery. This is the bread and cheese of Christian faith. But Paul saw the need of talking about this situation with the people in Corinth. And that's why he was saying, what's the point of having the knowledge you have? This is nothing new to you. He says, now concerning things offered to idols, we know that we all have knowledge. I'm not telling you anything new. But then he says, knowledge puffs up. Knowledge gives the impression that the person is practicing it, which is the problem with the religious person. The religious one has biblical knowledge, many have knowledge of the word, and the more knowledge they have, so more capable they are to debate about certain topics, even to preach. Even to preach. There are many preachers in this world, people speaking about the Bible. But when you go deeper, practice, you will realize that there is a lot of knowledge, but no practice. So that becomes an affront to the Word of God. Because the so-called preacher of the Word of God, who was supposed to set the example, is putting the Word of God to shame with their lives, with what they do. So this is important. Why? Because this topic has lots to do with me and you. We live in the era, in the age of knowledge and information. All that you want is in the palm of your hand. In the palm of your hand. Any topic. And you can instantaneously get the answer to it on your phone. What is this? Your phone answers it. The artificial intelligence answers you. You can obtain all knowledge you want. And to be puffing yourself up and to think that you know something. And then you get into a circle of friends and then you start to exhibit your knowledge. Did you know this? Did you know that? And then you start. No, I didn't know. Wow, you're so well informed. You're so in tune with everything. And that rubs off your ego. And then you go to gather more knowledge, to return to the same circle of friends and to throw at them more knowledge so that you may think that you are an expert. We are living this time, the time of knowledge, all kinds of knowledge, and also biblical knowledge. So our heart, our mind, Paul even says that our ears are itching to receive more information. Our ears like novelty. So if you are not careful, you can become someone who is bloated with knowledge, heavy with knowledge, and extremely light in practice. So light in practice. And this will do you so much harm. This will be a stumbling block, because the more knowledge, the more confused you will be with knowledge and practice. And it's not enough only to know. You must have practice. The Word warns us not only be hearers of the Word of God, but doers. It is best to practice 1 gram of the Word than to have a ton of knowledge of it. So watch. Maybe you are puffing yourself up of various preachers. You spend your entire day listening to preachers on the internet, absorbing knowledge. You hear podcasts, you read, and you research, and you are confusing all this with a benefit. And you are bloating, and soon you will explode. Soon life will bring you a surprise, and you will have nothing to do about this surprise, about this challenge. Why? Because the muscle of practice is atrophied. So God does not condemn knowledge. But what God considers as true knowledge is what we practice. We can only say that we know if we practice it, not only because we received information. Watch over this. Be careful. Decide that the little you know, you apply it, and this will be more useful to you than millions of data information in your head. If today's video helped you and you know someone that could benefit from it, share it with them, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, you may do so now. See you later.